Hi everybody, I was talking to my friend from Florida, and she said I really wasn't very clear when I ended that video last night, and I pretty much got to this point right here where I told you to put the glue on to, okay, first of all I told you to take your foam and cut out where your cords were going to be and then put that in, and the reason you have to do that is so that when you put your bottom piece on, it will lay flat. If you don't, if you put the whole piece of foam in there trying to cover up the cords like on the foam sandals, you're gonna it won't lay even. So I cut the whole inside out wherever I had a piece of cord, and then I take my white glue and I fill the whole thing up with white glue, and then I'll put on my bottom piece. So I did a little bit already, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest. It doesn't matter how much, if you get any glue around the edging, because you're going to sand it and it's going to sand right off. And not only that, but it's also going to dry clear. Okay, so here's my bottom piece, so I'm just going to put my bottom piece on, and there you go. That's how I finished off these sandals. So I'm going to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to sand it down with my sandpaper. Okay, and that was pretty much it. I was very upset last night because I was working with my new tile, and I found out that if you get an old tile, it will be all dried out, because these things dry out with age, which I wasn't aware of. And the way you can tell is if there's no bending at all in this thing, and if you lift the paper, you can see dried spots where the actual adhesive is already dried out. So this, and when I tried to punch holes in it with my hole puncher, it cracks the tile. It cracks, so it just like turns to crumb, and you can tell by looking at it how dried out it is from looking at the side here. I didn't notice that with the first tile, because the first one, if you look, you've got a nice layer of adhesive, no dry spots, and you have a nice bend with the first tile I bought. My friend said to avoid this, you can get the rolled linoleum and use that, and then just use your own glue without having the adhesive on it already for you. That might be a better option too. But anyway, I decided I was going to use these pieces as my bottom of my shoes. So what I did is I went to the Dollar General, and I found this is a placemat for your dinner table. They only had 3 designs. They had this, they had olives, and they had a couple roosters. So I thought, well, I'm going to try this, because this was another suggestion that she used. She told me about that you could use for shoes. So what I did was I cut out a couple of where the strawberries were. If I wanted to get an exact match, I would probably have to buy 2 to get the exact picture for both sides, because if you look at these, it's not an exact match, because here's my right and my left. But I tried to get as close as I could. But it's kind of cute. They're obviously going to be a pair, but the little bit of variation is kind of cute, I think. But anyway, if you're going to make like the purple from the grapes, you'd have enough for 1 pair, and it would look almost exactly the same. Another thing you could do is, since there was 2 pairs, you could use the shading of the pairs and have a yellow spot in the same spot of both pairs, and you wouldn't even know it was a pair. It would just be a nice yellow color. So, but with the holidays coming up, you're going to get a lot more of these variety of designs. So if you can't find anything that you could work with, you can just, wait until they come out with more. So that's what that was with these. And then as far as the strawberry sandal that I'm making, I bought some strawberry fabric, and I thought that would be very cute to have a pair of strawberry sandals to go with the strawberries. I didn't realize this was so pink because I had it in the drawer. I should have used my pink strawberries and it would have matched better, but I didn't do it. So I'm just going to finish these off with the red, and the red matches the red berry better anyway. Okay, so as far as these jump rings that I'm using, not jump rings, the split rings, what I did was only on these little shanks, only 2 pieces of that elastic can get through there. I tried 3 and it just couldn't get through. So what I ended up doing was putting the shank on, the split ring on the shank, and then I was able to fit my 2 pieces of elastic through with that. But I did that first before I actually tried to do it while it was on the shoe. It's much easier when you do it this way. Another thing with these dress-it-up buttons, they're in pieces. So if you're going to put these on your doll shoes, you probably want to put a piece of hot glue or white glue underneath where they make the connection, so that the pieces will stay together when you're putting them on these shoes. But this was just one example. So to do the side straps on these, I just took about 3 inches of the elastic and I just threaded them through the split ring. I'm using the split ring instead of the jump rings because I think they're stronger, and I think they'll last longer than the split rings. I think the split rings will probably come apart. So then I just went like that, and that is your side piece for each side. And then as far as the going across, I just did 2 instead of the 2 across. I just did the 1 across, I did 2 across. That's the wrong one. Yeah. Okay. This was another sample I did. If you don't know how much to cut off, you can take your piece of foam that you're going to after you have this all glued down. Your paper would still be on top because of the adhesive, of course. This is all dried out. But if you go like this and put your squeeze really hard, you can tell exactly where the lines are, and you'll be able to cut out a perfect area before you can glue this down on your pair of shoes. This was a pair I tried with macrame. There's no elastic in here except the and I didn't like it. It wouldn't stay on the doll. So, you know, there's just so many things you can play with. But anyway, hopefully you'll have better luck than I had on these. And if you like this idea, there's going to be plenty of these are vinyl placemats. You can probably get them at anywhere they sell stuff for the dining room table. Okay, well that's it. Thanks. I'll see you later. Bye.